Well, time waits for no one, and on we move with the next part, which is captions or subtitles. What are they? Well, very, very simply, you'll have seen subtitles or captions at some point during your viewing life, and they are words that come up on the screen to add as a transcript to what's being said in the scene. With regards to what we've been building since the beginning, what the dialogue will be the voiceover that we recorded. If I mute off the music and play it back. When we think of outdoor cooking, we think back to nature. So it's that kind of thing. And there are a number of reasons why you would want subtitles. So I'm first going to tell you the two different versions that we're going to be dealing with. It's a whole different industry, is subtitles, but the way in which Premiere Pro have now incorporated being able to create subtitles in the program is so much less clunky and so much easier than days gone by, which is why I'm more than happy to spend this time talking about them. That said, if it did take a lot longer, we'd still do it. It would just take a lot longer and more time out of your course. There are two different versions of captions or subtitles that you can have in a video primarily, and that is Hardcoded and Sidecar. Now, the creation of the subtitles is exactly the same, regardless of whether you go into hardcode or have them as a Sidecar file. However, it's when we get to the end, to the export. If I bring up this dialogue, remember in this dialogue we had before, and we had this area for captions. It's grayed out at the moment because there's not a captions track, but this is where we would change what we're doing with regards to the captions. Actually, yeah, it would be in export options. And quite simply, Sidecar and hard coding literally mean whether you end up with one file or two. If you're hard coding, it's also known as burning in. And what it's effectively doing is it's rendering the video with the subtitles on the screen permanently, just as if it was some form of text. Bringing that onto here, it was that kind of text. It's that whenever we bring in this kind of text, this is hard coded. This is text, a graphic effectively when you boil it all down, but this is a graphic element that's a text that is designed to be on the screen at the time of viewing. So that's hard coding, and that's what you would do on the export options. And that would be if you're playing it back somewhere where you definitely want the subtitles showing. That's usually if you're doing a video to play back on social media. And although Facebook and now Instagram do have an option to put in an SRT file or a Sidecar file, a lot of producers still opt with just setting the subtitles in there. Why do they do that? Well, recent studies show that most people on a mobile will watch video when they're scrolling through social media, when they're on a commute, whether on a train or a bus, or even just in a public area like a coffee shop, or even at work. And that's why you want to make sure that they get the message that you want to get across in the video. And while they can't hear the music, they can at least get what's being spoken. So that's why you would want to, that's the event that you'd want to hard code in your captions. The other option is SRT. And as I said, that's a Sidecar file. And what that serves as is a reference file to the video for wherever it's playing back. Now that may be on, say, VLC player on a computer. It could be in a number of other media players on a computer or a PC or a Mac or anything like that. And you can select a captions track. However, most people would want that because you can upload the SRT or subtitle track separately when you're uploading to, say, YouTube. So now all of a sudden the viewer doesn't have to watch with the subtitles on if they don't want to. They can click the cog in YouTube and select to see the subtitles, the captions. And what that can do is it can overwrite what YouTube has been doing in recent years. And that is to auto-generate the text. Now, the problem with that is that it's not necessarily accurate, and you can auto-generate the wrong text. We'll see that when we actually create these captions. But the beauty in doing it in Premiere Pro rather than in YouTube is that you can edit it, or at least edit it much easier. Not only that, but an accurate captions file in a YouTube video allows Google, who run YouTube, to use every single bit of text that's in the video as part of a search term. So it adds to the metadata of the video. So that would be why you would want to have an SRT file. So those are the difference. Hard coding built right into the image. SRT file, the end user, the end viewer can toggle on and off as they so wish. And whether you want to create them or not, all depends on where this is being outputted to, and if you need to build in accessibility. So for those actually hard of hearing, which obviously is what captions was originally designed for. It's just the modern world that we live in with regards to social media and mobile social media that has called upon us using this already well-established form of getting the spoken word over when it can't be heard. So those are the two different versions of subtitles and why we may create them. We're now going to move on and show you how to create subtitles as easily and as quickly in Premiere Pro.